Welcome to the Minorities Report podcast. I'm Antonio Alcazar.
And I'm Jason Technor. I could smell him downwind.
You want me to smell him downwind?
I did. So here we are with another hit from the 80s.
Yeah, this was 85, huh?
1985, Commando.
Commando. This was one of those like classy schlocky 80s films, huh?
I mean, this was like...
This kind of like paved the way for the future schlock.
This was like the ultimate Arnold movie.
Okay.
This was 1980. I mean, this was action.
Yeah. This was
served
action.
up to you by a director that I'm not really that familiar with, to be honest. Like, he's done a couple things that I've seen, but not a lot.
What has he done since? I didn't look up the director. I never look up the director.
This was brought to us by Mark Lester. Some of the other stuff that this guy has done, I'm sure you're very familiar with. Class of 1984.
Never saw it.
Class of 1999.
That's hysterical.
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
I've never even heard of that.
Really?
Yeah.
A great movie from back in the day.
Is that like Big Trouble in Little China?
Kind of along those lines. Not as good, though.
Okay. Yeah.
And he has done a bunch of movies, and I assure you, you have seen none of them.
Uh-huh.
I mean, because they're all like Beauty and the Beast from like a 2009, like Jurassic Attack, like a Jurassic Park ripoff, things of that nature.
Why did he do nothing but dog shit? He did like Commando, and that was enormous.
Yeah, I know. And that was like it, man. It was Commando was like his thing, and then he's like, from here, I'm just doing B.
Going back to dog shit.
Yep. He's like, I can, it's less work.
Yeah, I can stress out the rest of my life trying to live up to this, or just fucking take it easy.
And just mail it in. And I'll tell you what, bro, if it was up to me,
you'd mail it in.
Give me some stamps.
What?
Shit's getting mailed in.
Sign me up for stamps.com?
Yes. Exactly that. All right. So we jump right into this with a cold open, and there's some trashmen doing trashman shit. They're rolling down like a California area. They roll up to a guy's house.
Nice little California suburb.
Exactly. Dude comes running out. Yeah. Hey, I was afraid you'd miss me. Don't worry. We won't.
As soon as I saw Billy Duke, I'm like, run, man. Run.
You don't Billy Duke, man, he's just got a look to him, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
Like, there's no way Billy Duke ever got, like, jacked or, like, robbed or anything like that.
Bullied or anything
right,
like
exactly
that.
that. Because he just looks like he will literally rip you.
Guy.
Dude, first of all, he's, like, 6'6".
Yeah.
And just... fucking he just and it's not like he's like super built like Arnold or something like that.
Big guy,
but
though.
He's like beef big right? Like just meat big. Like that's the best way. That's the best way I would put it, right?
Sure.
Mac from Predator, he's back. Although this actually comes before Predator, technically.
When was Predator?
87.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this was years before Predator.
For sure. No, 2 years. I mean, 2 years before.
This was like a decade before Predator. Though.
Exactly that. Yes.
Terminator. Terminator was when?
83.
Okay. All right.
So yeah. So
trying
this
to
is all.
put these in my head.
Yeah. Exactly.
In chronological order here. Okay.
Right. Hell yeah, man. So then we cut away from that, and then Mac goes shopping. He wants to go pick up a new Cadillac.
Yeah. He goes to pick up a car, and it's the sleaziest salesman.
Yes.
He was an inch away from his face, dude.
Yes.
I don't know if it's COVID or if it's just generally you shouldn't talk to people that close to their face. But man, that guy was like, I hope he gets punched right in the face.
He is.
And then he got run over.
You know what I like best about it? What's that? The price. And then runs him the fuck over.
Also, did Cadillac at some point, like, was it not a... Is it more luxury now than it used to be?
No, it's always been a luxury car.
Yeah, because he was just like, you don't want leather, you want acrylic. And I was just like, did they not used to have leather?
I mean, yeah, they had leather, but
find?
not. I mean,
Was it just less luxury?
It was the 80s.
Okay.
We were weird in the 80s.
Yeah.
And you get like a crack, like the closest thing Billy Duke does to smile after he gets away with that car. Because it's like, Billy Duke
self-satisfied.
doesn't smile. Right? He's got like a
it's not a smile, it's self-satisfaction.
Right. Exactly. Like that was a pretty easy kill, right? So then we go over to the docks, and this guy shows up. Did you notice this guy? Of course you didn't notice this guy.
No.
He was in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
I've never seen that.
Okay. I'm sure you've seen at least a meme with this guy. He's the guy with the football pads and the mohawk.
Okay.
And he's like, screaming all the time and stuff like that, right? So the director was like, he saw Mad Max, he saw that guy, and he was like, that guy's the only guy who can play opposite of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Really?
Yeah. So that's where he went, right? Mark something. I can't remember this fucking guy's name, but he's an interesting dude, that's for sure. So that guy
gets on the boat.
He gets on the boat to take off.
I didn't understand what was happening here.
Right.
Because I was just like, did he just blow up his dude?
Well, right. He like looks at him.
Yeah, like knowingly.
Right.
And then the boat blows up, and I'm just like, so he just died, or what?
Yeah, Billy Duke killed him, right? And then right, because it's kind of weird. This scene is kind of a little bit odd, of course, right? And
just shot weird, I think.
Yeah. Mostly in hindsight, because we know that this guy's in on it, right?
Okay.
But like, there was no point to like give him that like knowing look. Like that shouldn't have happened. Like he should have just got on the boat.
He almost blew him a kiss.
Looked back at those people and then just looked and then just like he shouldn't have even recognized them. And then Billy Duke pulls out the most old school like explosion device of all time with this.
It looked like an RC radio control fucking.
And blows the fuck out of him.
There was a lot of like weird like tech tropes in this one, because at some point Arnold has a timer going on his watch, and every time a second is counting down you hear beep beep beep, and I'm just like, dude, I would turn that shit off my watch immediately.
Exactly, absolutely. So music kicks in, and man, we get the most Arnold shot of all fucking time.
For sure.
Coming through the forest with a gigantic tree on his fucking
enormous
arm.
Log.
Just fucking rip the
like
shit
that
up.
Log, I hope was a prop, right? Because Arnold wasn't that strong.
I mean, I don't think it was a real log that big, because like they do
that shit would have weighed like 700 pounds.
Yeah,
There's no way
they do like Navy SEAL training with like logs like that big, and it takes like 10 dudes to like lift and move with that shit. Right, exactly.
I was just like,
so insane.
I've like chopped wood before, and trees are heavy as a bitch.
like tree stump 2 feet long would be almost too hard to pick up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not like I'm just like, if I can't pick it up, Arnold Schwarzenegger, but like that was a little like I want to believe he's not that strong.
Yeah, so it was quite the scene.
I loved him kind of walking down that hill, because he does this like weird kind of walk.
Yeah, like he's like not stable exactly. And
so it was just a little more emasculating.
He's carrying an entire tree, so it makes sense that he can't walk down.
Sure. So I love all the close-ups of his muscles too.
Yeah, of course, right. Young Alyssa Milano shows up.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck is this girl? Why she looks so familiar? And then I Googled it, and I was like, oh, it's Alyssa Milano. That's hysterical.
Yeah, I was thinking to myself, man, I got to get back to finishing up Charmed. And
I always forget that you like Charmed, dude.
I didn't like Charmed. I liked having Charmed on while I was painting and things of that nature. So just like Buffy and all that other shit. So
did you like Buffy?
I never watched Buffy until recently. I liked the first season so far. I have it on while I'm painting and shit. Okay. So, and I'm enjoying it. Probably a little bit better than Charmed, to be honest.
Sure.
So then we get a little montage of him and his daughter doing things.
Yeah, just having like a real vibe.
Right. They're like, you're fishing and they're doing all this other stuff.
He seems like such a good dad.
Feeding a deer.
Yeah, feeding a deer.
That scene made me laugh. I don't know why, but it's so ridiculous that this like deer was like, I'll eat out of Arnold Schwarzenegger's hand.
But I hear like deer are actually that like out in the woods and shit.
Yeah.
Deer are that friendly, especially if you've got like food in your hands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of videos on the internet of people just like walking outside of their house with like strawberries, and deer will just come up and eat.
No, absolutely, especially ones that have like you've fed and things of that nature, so that they get used to having you around humans and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they go inside and they have a nice little lunch, and then he hears something in the background, and then of course, like,
what's in this sandwich? You don't want to know. What the fuck was in there?
Right, exactly.
Why not just tell him? What is it, kale?
Right, like, and it's so funny because like how jacked he is. He like that lunch would not feed him.
No.
Like that's like less than a snack for
dude,
when you have that.
He would be like, "This was cute," and then he'd go and eat
a pound of hamburger.
Yeah, for sure, a fuck ton more.
Right, so. Helicopter shows up, and there's living in the mountains, and then there's living in the mountains,
dude,
bro.
This seemed like there would be no way to kind of keep your fridge stocked, you know? Like, where are they getting power from? Like that
solar?
It was way too in '85. Did they even have solar technology?
I mean, yeah, they've had solar
Did that exist already?
Absolutely. But like humans weren't using it, like aliens were.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I mean, it was only aliens using solar power at this point in time, but they might have had solar power. But either way,
Colonel out into the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah, it was a nice house though, man. I was like, God damn, this is a nice ass fucking house.
For sure.
So Colonel shows up and he's looking for Matrix, and they have a little bit of a conversation.
Matrix, dude. His last name was Matrix. What a
John
fucking name.
Matrix, bro. That is a fucking
Matrix.
It is a solid ass name. So they have a little bit of a discussion, and he fills him in that 3 of his men have been killed, and Bennett and those 2 other guys that don't matter.
Not as good as you son of a bitch.
Right?
They had a very son of a bitch kind of relationship
for sure. Very. It's funny that you've never seen like Rambo and stuff like that, because this definitely apes a lot of the Rambo stuff. And when we eventually get to Rambo, you're going to be like, oh yeah, they clearly ripped off Rambo in a lot of this stuff here.
Yeah. So Rambo came first.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rambo was like a special forces dude that fought in Vietnam and whatnot. And
so very similar.
Yeah, exactly. Similar, except for like Rambo doesn't have any family or anything like that. That's not how they tie his ass into it. I'm going to say right off the bat, Rambo is much better than this film. Rambo 1 is awesome. I think Rambo 1 won like awards and whatnot.
Fucking Oscar for best, actor.
It's a really good film, the first one, where it's not schlock like this. Like it's basically an old school Vietnam veteran coming back to like a town where he's not wanted, and then like the people trying to like shove his ass out of the town, and him just trying to be like hang out and stuff like that. And then
don't tell me about it, because we're
definitely gonna watch Rambo, and you're gonna be like, this was actually a legit film before Stallone became what Stallone was throughout the
parody of himself.
But Rambo 1, if I remember correctly, was like 78 or 79. So it was before like the 80s like craziness and shit of that nature. Because I think
before Rambo ramped it up in the 80s.
Rambo 2 even came out before this one. I think Rambo 2 is like 82 or 83 or something of that nature. Yeah, in that area. So
this guy even had like grown up watching Rambo movies before he made this.
Who's that? Arnold?
The director.
I mean, Rambo. I'm sorry. I thought it was 70. It's actually 82 was the first one. 85 was the second one. So it came out like right around the same time as this actually. In fact, 82, that Rambo. This character was already created with Rambo. So they just talk about
John Matrix. Bro.
Yes, the Colonel is going to go try to find out what's going on, and he's going to coordinate with the FBI for whatever fucking reason.
He's just dropping off 2 bodyguards.
2 bodyguards. Are they any good? They're good. Not as good as you.
Not as good as you were, you son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
He doesn't actually say that, but it has a very that feel to it.
Any good? Real good. He even says real good, but not as good as you were.
Yeah.
Instantly, they get fucking smoked.
They die within seconds.
The fucking helicopter takes off, and as it's leaving, he looks up and...
Dead.
One guy gets mowed down instantly. Other guy gets hit as well. They crawl into the house, and he's like, I've got to go get a gun from the shed.
Yep.
I got to go get my rifle from the shed.
Yes.
And Alyssa Milano, you got to go into your room, hang out there. Yeah. You watch out for them. You'll be able to we're downwind.
We're downwind, so don't even worry about it.
Right.
What the fuck? Do you want me to smell them or some shit?
I did.
That's how I did it.
Right. And
bitch.
You son of a bitch.
I don't know why, but everybody had such a you son of a bitch attitude.
And it's so silly to me that this dude, who is clearly like integrated into special forces at some point, like maybe he only has 1 lightning bolt on his tab, but like he's involved somewhat. It doesn't know what downwind means and things like that. I don't know. I know that I should this is a movie. Okay. So anyways, so he runs off to his shed, pops open his shed, gets himself a handgun and a rifle, comes back inside, guy's there, throat slit, falls down.
Yeah, I didn't get, did they prop him up?
Yeah.
They were just like...
In the door that they knew Matrix was going to come back into.
Upstairs, too.
Yes.
And he was downstairs.
Yes.
So they were just like...
They carried his ass upstairs.
And then we'll carry him upstairs.
Right.
Then they carried him upstairs, set him against the door.
Screen door.
Yeah, against the screen door. And they were just like, okay, we'll just make sure he's not slipping. Because, it's a dead body. It's not like it's holding himself up.
Right.
How was he even propped up? They must have really jimmied it so that,
Yeah, it's tricky. So, he opens the door. Guy flops out, comes in. He sees that there's cars taking off. And,
No, he doesn't see that yet. There's a guy sitting in a chair.
Right, well, he's the guy sitting in his chair. He's like, where is she?
If you want your daughter, you're going to have to cooperate with us. And then you see the cars taking off.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, he says my people have business with you.
Yeah,
and as long as you work out with us, you'll get her back and it'll be safe. And you want your daughter back, right? And you're no. What does he say?
He says
you're going to cooperate, right?
Yeah,
wrong. Psh, and just shoots him
right in
his
his fucking face.
Runs outside, checks his truck ripped up. Jump starts his car, and by jump starts his car, I mean he literally pulls it up and takes it to the end of a fucking hill, jumps in his car, and rides that motherfucker down.
Yeah,
they reused the shot a couple times, which was really cute.
Yeah, for sure. And forget power steering. This dude is just muscling through this fucking forest, man. At any moment,
dude, he's ragdolling too.
Dude,
and it makes it look like Arnold has no idea how to drive a car.
Yeah,
because he's
way out of control, dude.
And Mac is getting away. Of course, Mac in another vehicle.
Yeah.
Getting away, and he's like, "There, that son of a bitch is coming right for us." Or whatever. They almost crashes into him, misses just by an inch.
Yeah.
Flips his truck.
Yeah.
Gets out. Armed men with M16s.
Yes.
And starts wrestling with armed men with M16s, and nobody wants to shoot them.
Kicks a lot of their asses.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And then eventually one guy grabs him, and the black guy says, "Don't you move, motherfucker."
Motherfucker. Yeah, that motherfucker stood out to
me. Motherfucker. And guess who's back? When they told me I'd be able to get a hold of you, I've been pissed off ever since you kicked me out of your unit.
Yeah.
I knew I was always going to pay you back. You know what today is, John? Payday.
Payday.
And he shoots him.
And then the title card comes down. No, I'm kidding.
And then we jump over to him now being tied up on a table. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of guys looking at him. And he meets Colonel. The Colonel, that we've seen this guy in 100 movies. Yeah. This guy's been in so much shit. I can't remember this dude's name, but Night of the Roxbury is obviously one of my favorites. And he plays like a South American sort of former president who was ousted.
I love that he's like a South American. He's like a Peruvian president or something like that. But I love that he keeps saying Velasquez.
Yeah.
And he speaks Spanish. Mm-hmm. And that's such an egregious pronunciation of that last name.
Give me an example. If you were an American saying a last name, what is the example?
Well,
Smith. How would that be if I was saying Smith incorrectly?
No, just entirely different. You know?
So I'd be saying Smith, but I'd be like Jones.
Yeah, so no, it would be like saying Smith or something like that,
Smithy or some shit.
Smithy. Such an egregious pronunciation of the word. Now, obviously, you hear things like this a lot. You know, there's Americanizations of names. Hispanic names get Anglicanized a lot.
Sure.
But you wouldn't expect the actual Spanish-speaking president to say Velasquez or whatever.
Yes.
And so that one stuck. I was just like, oh my God, this guy has never even heard the name said,
Do you feel as though this was a better or worse Spanish-speaking representation than Al Pacino as Scarface?
Oh, this was even worse than that.
Even worse than that? Okay, all right. Because that's pretty terrible.
Oh, that's, I mean...
Yeah,
listen, I spent many, many years. I spent almost 4 years in Miami. I've met a lot of Cubans. I know how they speak English. And Al Pacino's English accent is
It's Spanish accent.
No. Cuban English accent. His Cuban accent, but it's in English. Yeah,
English,
for sure. Is egregiously bad.
He's never met a Cuban before.
No. And really, that turned into an accent all his own. That's people mimicked it, and then it became an accent. Yeah, it's a very bad accent. But this is just saying one word so badly that it's just okay, this guy, he's never even heard this name before. This was the first time that he had heard the name Velasquez.
Yeah, definitely. I can feel that.
Me saying Velasquez, right? That's Anglicanized.
Sure.
That's already saying it with an English accent.
Okay.
Velasquez or whatever it is that he said made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, we then he breaks it down. He's like, you and your men, you helped overthrow my government, get me kicked out of office, and now I'm gonna, I've always held a grudge against you for that, and now you're gonna help me get back into power by killing them. Like, somehow, if you kill the president, I will be then put back into power.
Yeah, I don't know how the transfer of power works. It's just like, well, the president's dead, so now
the old president becomes president again. That'd be like if Biden died today and Trump became president again.
Just somehow,
right. So here's
that vacancy of power, the vacuum.
Maybe that's what he was kind of saying. So here's a funny thing to me.
As a charismatic leader, and they're just like, okay, fuck it.
That makes sense. And they set up the whole plan. The funny thing to me about this scene, if you made this movie today, you could make a little bit of a gray area here, and you could say something about this scene, right? Because your actions. Your CIA-inspired actions caused this in the first place. You shouldn't have done anything to do with this in the first place, but they don't play it like that at all. They play it like this guy's the fucking villain, and Matrix is the good guy for getting his ass kicked out in the first place.
Because that's when this was happening.
Of course. Yeah, when we were still doing this shit all the time.
They were just like, hey, we should probably make a movie where... we're the good guys for doing it. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly that. And
we're getting a lot of heat in the news.
They set up a great plan where they're going to send the big black guy with the terrible Jerry curl with him, and Sully is going to watch them get on the plane, and then Sully's going to follow up with some other issues, and then they're going to land, and then the black guy's going to hand him off to... Dude, I don't even know what country they're actually technically going to.
Yeah, who knows?
But whatever.
Colombia, Peru,
right, exactly. Some South American
Honduras,
place.
It could be anything.
And then they're going to take him from there, and then he's going to finish the job or whatnot for them. So, great plan. Yeah. They take him over to the airport, and Bennett breaks everything down for him and tells him, they offered me $100,000, but when they told me I'd get my hands on you, I told them I'd do it for free.
And then he said, I kill a communist for free.
I kill a communist for free. And then John's like, I'll be back.
Yeah, what's up with that? The I'll be back thing.
Yeah, he started doing that all the time.
Oh, in every movie?
Yeah, every movie. After he ad-libbed it in Terminator.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That became the
tiny little homage.
Oh no, that became the Arnold line of the 80s and early 90s, man.
Wow.
I'll be back in everything.
So that wasn't just Terminator, I thought.
It was Terminator that started it, and then he just used it after that every single time, and that became his catchphrase.
Wow.
And he says, John, I'll be ready, John. And he gets ready to head out, and Sully's like, all right, guys, well, you guys are going to head down. You guys are going to have a good time. Gives him $20. He tells him, hey, go ahead and get some drinks while you're down there.
Yeah.
Take your time. We'll have a little bit more time with your daughter, which... What a clown, right? Why would you say that?
What a dumb thing to say.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm going to antagonize this guy who is we know is an insanely great special forces killer.
Yeah.
That we're sending him single-manned to go kill this president.
And expecting him to succeed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
To succeed.
So I'm just going to antagonize him a little bit.
Exactly.
I'm going to imply that I'm going to rape his daughter. That probably won't come back to haunt me.
You're a funny guy, Sully. I like you. That's why I'm going to kill you last. That, of course, comes back later. All right. So I'm just thinking of the scenes coming up. Sorry. All right. So all right. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. So they get on the plane, and the steward. They get on the plane, and the steward asks, any luggage? Yeah, just him. Yeah. And the black guy grabs him. He's like, you shut your mouth, or I'll shut it for you.
No,
or whatever.
He's like, you open your mouth again, I'll staple it shut.
Yeah, exactly. And he's very forceful with him about it. I'll shut it for you, or some shit like that. And he's clearly bigger than Matrix as well. He's just gonna fucking bully his way through this situation. And he's got a real fucking scumbag look to him too, because there's a point where Sully, in fact, we jump past it because it's not of any import, but Scully's like, hey, you knew Bennett from the service too? You guys used to be in the same unit together? And he's like, oh, that's cool. Me and, what was this guy's name?
Whatever his name is, yeah, for sure. Dude.
Me and Black fucking Zilla here. Yeah. We used to be in the service together too. And like the guy like makes like a face like a funny, but not the same way as you and Bennett or whatever. Like, sure. I don't know, man. This guy looks so scumbaggish. And he's like, dude, you fucking open your mouth again. Your mouth is getting shut by me.
Yeah.
Arnold asks for a pillow and a blanket. Yeah. Lady gives him a pillow and a blanket. Yeah. They start to get ready, and he instantly kills the fucking dude. Just boom, fucking elbow to the face.
I got really surprised when that happened.
Like, for sure.
Like he just elbows him in the face, grabs his head, snaps his neck,
and then puts him to like sleep, basically. Sets him up to sleep.
My eyes were like wide open when that happened. Right. I was so shocked. I was like, holy fuck.
The stewardess comes back through. He asks, hey, how long is this flight actually? And she said, oh, it'll be 11 hours till we land. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Don't disturb my friend. He's dead tired.
He's dead tired. And then he looked over at the camera.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, I'll bring this up now, but it's like, this is like an insane movie for like Arnold. Like, there's no Arnold movie that has more one-liners and like things like that than this fucking movie. Like, this movie was
just peak one-liners.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just like
so many.
Right, exactly. Rapid fire.
Yeah.
He starts to get up. Yeah. A stewardess is like, "Hey, we're taking off. You got to sit down." I'm airsick. Yeah. And he goes over to the bathroom. Yeah. And like this whole thing could only happen in some pre 9/11 time period.
Well,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Right.
Of course.
Like, I didn't even question.
I loved when they were just like, oh, just put your cigarettes out. They were sitting in the airplane already. Yeah, just put your cigarettes out. I'm like, yeah, that's right.
Right. Pre 9/11 is crazy, man. It's crazy to see
every time you see airport shit pre 9/11, I'm always just like, oh yeah, I used to be lax as fuck.
Exactly.
Now, normally in movies, you don't get the sequence that you get in this movie, which is that they show him navigating
through the airplane. Yeah.
Usually it's just, okay, like, I don't know, they'll show him like jimmying the toilet. Yeah. And then he escapes.
No, dude, I love this scene.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, oh, this provides a lot of context for how it happens in other movies too.
And like, I didn't even, it's funny too because like this is, I don't know, I like it because like he's a special forces dude, so of course he knows how to navigate. Sure. Like we would have no idea how to get through different parts of the air, but like he has certainly had training in how to like infiltrate an airplane and stuff like that because terrorist hostages and stuff like that. So yeah, he just kind of like gets into the luggage hold, which would never happen nowadays, obviously, and like uses it, like he rips through.
Yeah, he just like knows where the door is gonna be. Right, rips that tarp.
Absolutely.
Gets through it, opens up the little like door next to the wheel.
Get to the wheels. And like this is all like real stuff because like so at a certain point when I graduated high school, I actually used to go to I was going to go to college. I went for 1 year for aviation technology, which is like being a mechanic on an airplane. So I've been through like inside of airplanes and stuff like that. So like this is mostly legit. Okay, so he.
I mean, I would hope so. They went through great pains to show us how this fucking shit works.
And he gets onto and then this happens though. He gets onto the landing platform thing. He gets onto the landing wheels and bides his time. And luckily, there is a swamp right outside of the airport area, and he drops from the airplane into the swamp and happens to land right into a marsh pad, which is that's nice, man. That's
when they were taking off, and like the airplane took off, the wheels are coming back in. That shit was moving fast as fuck,
ridiculously, and fast enough to take off.
Yeah. And at that moment, I was just like, he better not land on that pavement, dude. I was just like, no, I will refuse. Right. I'll turn it off, Sure. And I wouldn't have, but like, that would have been like a breaking
ridiculous,
point for me.
Yes.
And when it started to lift off and then I saw some water, I was relieved to see it. I was just like, oh, good. Great. I was happy for him, And then he jumped into the water and I was just like, okay, I'm okay with this.
As crazy as that scene is, that even like kind of makes sense because like as I think about it, like I remember seeing this and going like, oh, that's so convenient that there's a swamp right there or whatever, right? But like I think that's kind of how a lot of shit is set up because, like, in case an airplane has a problem, it can land in a soft area that's not fucking gonna just explode when you land on the concrete and shit, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. But
I was happy to see it, is what I'm saying.
As I'm older, I'm like, God damn, is that a drop, though? Like, that fucking drop is ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like 100 feet, dude.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
That plane was taking off.
Yeah, that would kill anybody or at least break your legs if you weren't a guy who could carry a fucking tree.
He fell right on that little pad, you know. It was a bunch of grass, a little water, you know.
Yeah, and those perfect. I mean, right? Yeah, no,
really padded
you're right.
it up.
Yeah, no, it's at least somewhat believable, right? It's not like insane.
Listen, man, when you're watching an action movie, I just want to, I want you to at the very least try to explain it to me.
Yeah.
If you're, I don't know, if you're like too old to Die Hard or whatever, that one where he like throws a motorcycle into a helicopter or whatever.
Yeah.
When you're doing shit like that, okay, it's like, you've lost me.
Right,
you know, like, this isn't human anymore. But this, it's like skirting that line where you're just like,
at least right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah, it gets, well, we'll get to it.
Okay,
so,
let's get to it. Yeah.
Anyways, and then he starts to stalk Scully, because he's already taken care of that one guy, that was his first transport guy. Yeah. Now he's got to stop Sully from doing his thing. So he starts following him, and he's trying to hit on this black stewardess.
Yeah.
And he gets kind of salty when she turns him down. You know, like a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
He was literally an incel, like 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
because then when she eventually fucking whore, right? Exactly. And I just laughed at myself because I'm like, God, there are just thousands of you on Facebook now, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah, for sure.
So
what a creep too, just like smiling like a foot away from her where she's on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, this guy's disgusting.
You remember The Rock, right?
The Rock?
The Rock, the movie?
The Rock?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
That's with Sean Connery?
Yeah.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay. Because he's in that, and he's in The Warriors, of course. Warriors.
That's him?
Yeah, that's him. The same guy, absolutely.
I've never seen The Warriors either. So.
Oh, but you've seen that scene, so you know about that. He's a scumbag in every single thing he plays.
He's got a scummy ass face.
Yeah, he plays that role. It's kind of like this is kind of like when the guy from Ant-Man 2, Walter Goggins. Walter Goggins just plays a great racist, like a southern, like kind of asshole racist sort of dude.
Yeah, Walter Goggins plays a real scummy piece of shit. They've got like scummy ass faces.
Yeah,
I bet you he's a really cool dude in real life.
Oh, I'm sure he is. Right, exactly. Like
I'm just like a really kind guy.
Yeah, nice dude, helps out the poor and shit like that.
But it's just like, no, man, your face.
But then you put me on TV, and I'm gonna call him a dirty nigger. Sure. So yeah, exactly. It's some shit. So So Matrix follows Sully at this point. He follows the woman as well, and he kidnaps the woman, gets into her car by ripping the fucking seat out.
I didn't get it. I didn't get why. Why did he rip the seat out? Because he wouldn't have fit?
Two reasons. Yeah. One, because you want to kind of stay low. You want to stay low.
That was the only one that I thought of. I was just like, maybe, I guess, to stay low?
Yeah, and importantly, it's as they're getting out of the parking area that he stays low, because then once they're out on the street, he's completely
normal. Yeah,
right,
sure,
exactly.
Yeah.
And two, just to show how insanely strong he is. For sure, just fucking ridiculous.
There was a couple of moments where he was just like, "Are you a superhero?"
Right, exactly. So, we get to the mall then at this point. He makes him follow, and there's kind of some fun banter between him and the girl, and they, talk about stuff. And she's like, hey, what's going on here or whatnot? And he said, well, an old friend of mine that wants to see me dead. And she says, that's coincidence, because I've only known you for 5 minutes and I want to see you dead. So, I don't know why you wouldn't just go, hey, dude, that guy right there kidnapped my daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to track him.
At some point he does.
He does. Eventually at the mall, he's like, look, my daughter was kidnapped. I'm going to let you go. I'm not going to hurt you or anything like that, but I need your help.
You could have just started with that.
Exactly. Yeah. Instead of kidnapping a person like in this way. But he's just like, look, I need your help to catch up with this guy, because this guy right here is my only way to track back to where my daughter was kidnapped, and I'm trying to rescue her. So we have some funny scenes in the mall where Sully goes to meet up with like another South American fucking scumbag who has IDs for him, passports, and Sully's going to give him some money, and we get to see Arnold follow him, and the woman go in to see what he's exactly doing. And then while the woman's inside there, she goes and talks. Cindy is her name. I should bring up too. She talks to a security guard and is like, "Hey, this guy is after me or whatever." And he's
which
trying to
look
hurt
like
me.
a cop straight up, guns and everything.
So like you think these are security guards because they look like security guards, but then they have fucking guns though too. So
I was just like, were security guards just strapped in the 80s? Or
no,
were these
not
cops?
at all. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. So they one of them goes
now I thought that was sensible though, that you would do that, because of course
you know, you know, as far out as this movie is in some shit, it's like so down to earth in many other ways though.
There's a lot of sensible shit,
right? Exactly. So she's just like, I don't, you know, I'm not gonna get any more involved in this, so I'm gonna go tell security guard.
There's a creepy guy over there, he's gonna go take care of him, I get to go home.
Exactly. Security guard comes to try to confront Arnold. Things don't go well for that security guard. He tries to call him backup. Black guy backup's like, "You want to see me kick some ass?
You want to see me kick some ass?
Son of a bitch." And and so he spots Matrix and he's like, "We need backup in the main area. This is one big son of a bitch."
Son of a bitch.
So they try to confront him. Things don't go well as he starts beating the shit out of all these security guards, which at this scene you're like, "Oh, okay. He's beating the shit out of security guards." In hindsight, they're fucking armed. Why don't they just pull out the guns on him?
I think we were less trigger happy back then. Oh no, you know what it is? It's because he's white.
Good point.
If he was a black guy, they wouldn't have even waited.
Yeah,
they would have
right.
just been like, "Oh, there's a black guy over there. Let's just shoot him." And then they would have shot 40 rounds into him, gunned him down before he had any chance.
And
to
maybe accidentally hit 2 other people.
Doesn't matter, man.
But
they have
line of duty, line of duty, line of fucking security guard duty. So, at this point, Sully notices that chick's there, goes to try to talk to her. Starts chatting with her, sees there's a commotion, looks over. What the fuck? Matrix is here. Steals a coin from her.
I need a quarter. Do you have a quarter on you?
Give me a quarter, you fucking bitch. And he gets into her purse, grabs a quarter, runs over to a now antique thing, a public phone booth.
Yeah, phone booth. Matrix jumps over the railing, pulls the phone booth
starts
out of the ground.
The guy shoots at Matrix.
Yeah. Misses.
Then he starts shaking.
Keep shooting.
Right. Forgets he has a gun.
Yeah, because when he's up against the window, I'm just like, dude, empty the fucking magazine, dude.
Forgot he had a gun.
Yeah.
Matrix shakes the fuck out of this phone booth.
Yeah.
Eventually picks it up and flips it over himself.
Yeah. Picks up the phone booth.
That is...
You know, later on, I'm surprised he didn't get out of the car and pick up the Porsche.
Yeah. I mean, he might as well have, right? So, in this part, though... 10 security guards jump on him.
Yeah.
Sully gets up, starts taking off. He throws all 10 security guards off of him.
Fucking Hulk style.
The Peruvian comes running out. Cops, for some reason, want him to stop.
The South American guy.
Right.
The vaguely South American guy.
Yeah. Cops want him to stop for some reason.
Yep.
He pulls out a gun, shoots one of the security guards.
Yeah.
Another security guard nails him, throws money all over the fucking place.
Yep.
Sully's getting away at this point. Security guard wants to stop him. Sully shoots down one of the security guards, runs off. But for whatever reason, these security guards are still trying to stop Matrix while these other two guys are gunning him.
Bro. Everyone's involved. Everyone's getting arrested tonight.
Yeah. So at this point, Matrix grabs a balloon display, swings on a balloon display over to the elevator, lands on top of it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Sully doesn't shoot up at him.
Nope.
Gets out.
Sully's gun at this point is just for show.
Yes. Runs out to his car. 2 guys try to stop Matrix again. He does this insane double punch thing to a guy.
That double punch, I was just like, what the fuck was the inspiration behind the double
double
punch?
That wouldn't hurt even a little bit. It wouldn't even hurt a little.
I think that if Arnold Schwarzenegger double punched you,
Maybe.
like it'd be pretty funny to do in real life. But
yes.
I think he would probably hurt you with it. But what I'm saying is, what was the inspiration for the double punch? Like what was the director thinking? Hit him with both hands at the same time.
Rather than just punch one, double punch into this guy's chest.
Yeah.
And he takes out those guys.
Fucking ape punch, dude.
Runs outside, Sully almost nails him with the car.
Nails him with the car. I thought.
Nails him with the car. Flips over the car.
That's where I'm surprised he didn't just grab the car with both hands and flip it.
2 weeks in a row of vehicular assault in a parking lot.
Yeah.
This time they actually hit the guy, though. He then jumps into the chick's car that he kidnapped, starts to take off after Sully. The chick comes running outside.
Yeah.
Wait! Jumps in the car with her, starts to go off about what's going on here.
I love how she's just now sitting on the floor of her car.
Right. And she's just like, you do this, and then you're swinging like Tarzan, and blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
she give us a little recap.
Are you going to tell me what's going on? No.
Yeah. Super stoic badass. No.
Follows Sully into the mountains of California, starts to get into a car ramming thing. Eventually, Sully loses control, flips his Porsche. John stops, grabs his ass, gets told to go fuck yourself.
No, he literally, and it stood out to me. He says, "Get fucked."
Get fucked. Thank you. Shit, that's right. Yeah. I was just like, fuck, man. I wonder if subconsciously.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, I wonder if this is where Jason got it.
Yeah,
from.
man, maybe, man, because I was definitely young when I first saw this movie, and it just stuck with me forever. Because that's not a usual phrase that gets said. So.
I mean, yeah, get fucked is funny, and you've heard it.
Yes,
but you've heard it rarely, so it still hits.
Yes, exactly, and. Matrix picks his ass up and starts to talk shit to him.
By a foot.
Yes,
dude.
Picks him up by a foot.
There was nothing in me that thought that there was any wires used.
Yeah.
I feel like Schwarzenegger was actually holding this guy by his fucking foot.
Yeah, it's a crazy scene.
It's a strong guy.
He says,
I mean, if he could pick up a log,
you need me, otherwise you're never gonna find your daughter. And he's like, actually, I already
found her. And
he's got the keys. That he's like, you already told me. He tells him, you forgot, Sully, this is my weak arm or whatnot. And,
you remember when I told you were gonna be the last one I killed?
Remember, Sully, you remember when I told you I'd kill you last? Yeah, Matrix, that's what you told me. That's right. I lied. Drops his ass. Oh, looks like you don't have a car anymore. Flips over the Porsche.
Yeah,
now I do. Gets into the car. What happened to Sully? I let him go.
Like, that's 3 one-liners back to back, dude.
It's great, man.
Within 30 seconds, we got 3 one-liners.
They head over to the hotel to meet up with where Billy Duke is supposed to meet him. And they set it up so that she's going to entice Billy Duke to come in because she's sleeping with Sully. And when he does, Matrix will take care of the rest of it. Billy Duke now pulls up in his third vehicle.
At this point, she wants to help, though.
Yes.
Because in the car, he gives her a picture of the daughter.
Right.
He's like, dude, I'm on the level.
Yeah. Here's my situation. This person's kidnapped my daughter and wants me to kill this president to put him back into power. And she's like, she asks him, why didn't he just do that or something? He's like, I knew they would just kill her anyways, no matter what. Yeah. So my only hope now is to get there, stop them before they figure out what I'm doing exactly. Yeah. So I got to go meet this dude so I can figure out where my daughter is in the first place. They set up the meeting with Billy Duke. Billy Duke arrives in now his fourth vehicle, a drop top Cadillac at this point in time. I wonder if he paid for this one.
Yeah, that's likely.
Maybe. Yeah. All right, so he comes in and he's like, "Hey, where's Sully at?" and whatnot. And then
he's probably got a rule where, like, every fourth car he has to
he's
pay
like,
for.
yeah, because and I mean, man, this guy has driven multiple Cadillacs and a fucking BMW. So
yeah,
he's an impressive guy. So I mean, it's Billy Duke.
It's Billy Duke, yeah.
So he comes in and Matrix jumps him, punches him right in the face. They get into like a little bit of a back and forth and whatnot, and they fight all over the place while the girl's like, this macho bullshit, which is funny because that's exactly what's going on as they're talking shit to each other and everything.
They're talking like mad, like masculine shit to each other.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And he goes eventually flying through the connecting door, right? Connecting door. Which is like just silly, of course.
Dude, okay, so
there's 2 doors usually.
Yeah, okay, but still, in the next room, there's a couple fucking.
2 people fucking, yep.
But they're also like filming themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, what an elaborate thing to fucking
is going. That's the 80s, man. Yeah. Shit was wild in the 80s, bro. And yeah, they're just like, and whatnot. And we get a gratuitous tit shot, of course.
Yeah.
fight back and forth, and eventually he punches him, and he lands onto a broken piece of wood, which makes no sense that the wood piece was there.
Yeah, I was like, where did this... It looked like a cone. I didn't know what the fuck I was
it was a broken piece of wood, but...
Yeah.
The problem with this, of course, is that the only wood that was broken was the door that he threw him through, but he threw him that way through the door, and on the way back, whatever, he gets, of course, he gets killed.
Impaled by some wood on the ground.
Right, exactly. So, and they are going to go take his car this time and go look in the trunk to try to find something. And while he's looking through the trunk, Cindy actually finds a receipt for a place she knows that's airplane refueling station.
Because
she's a stewardess and she's getting her pilot license.
Yep. She is getting her pilot's license.
Yes.
This will come up again.
Yeah, exactly, man. This guy knew what he's doing, man. For a B director, Jesus, this guy lays a lot of reasonable shit.
Yeah.
And then
I wonder if he just had one good movie in him.
Just like I got one.
Yeah. I can do this one time.
Yes.
And then please don't expect much from me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me back to the bees.
I'm going to be doing Sharknado for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Shit of that nature. Exactly. So they're going to head over to the fueling area, and they decide to take Billy Duke's car. He won't be needing it. And they take Billy Duke's car and they head over to the airport refueling station. Of course, Arnold gets into there and he has to kill a guy for really no reason other than just to kill a guy. Brings Cindy in. Cindy finally plays her real role because she figures out where like she does like a mapping coordinating thing and figures out exactly how far it could fly and blah 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 and all this bullshit with this certain plane, and this has got to be where they're at.
Yeah, so she's just like, well, if you take the size of the kind of fuel that it is for this kind of plane, and if you take that plane, there are only these many islands, and it's like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You just had all this like off the dome?
Yeah,
it's fucking great.
It's pretty crazy shit, man. And they head out they're going to head out to the airplane.
Yeah.
Are we going to the airplane? Not yet. Where are we going? Shopping. Man. And then we get Arnold Schwarzenegger breaking into a survival store, basically.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
And just stealing shit. I remember when I was a kid, dude, I loved this scene so much. I don't know why.
Launcher, dude.
Everything, bro.
Yeah.
Just every fucking thing.
Yeah.
And they get away with the first shopping cart, gets a little too greedy, goes to try to get some more shit, and
Cop show up.
Don't you think about it, motherfucker, son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
Hey, you said motherfucker,
Right.
really motherfuckery, you know?
Right.
But you know, the son of a bitch energy was there.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So gets busted by the cops, gets thrown into a paddy wagon. In the paddy wagon, he's like, you know, if you contact Colonel, I don't even remember his name, he will explain exactly what is going on here, and he'll tell you everything. And the cops are just like, yeah, I think we ran him through the department last week or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're
and
just
then
kind of
they laugh at each other.
Yeah, exactly. And then they get to a red light. They see the chick we know as Cindy in her drop top, and they look over, and she's kind of like flirtatiously looking at him and whatnot. And they start to drive off, and I think she's got something for you. And then also they see some kind of explosion. What the fuck? And then because she shoots the rocket, but of course she shoots it the wrong way.
I did like that though.
Yeah,
she shot the rocket the wrong direction.
Sure,
because I was just like, yeah, she wouldn't know what the fuck is going on.
Exactly.
That was a clever little character moment.
For sure.
That was fine.
And then she spins it back around to the right direction and then lets off a shot and nails the fucking paddy wagon. Rescues Arnold. Arnold jumps in. Where'd you learn how to do that? I read the instructions.
I read the instructions.
And they take off. So they get to the airport, and of course, Arnold has to kill some people in there. And they get into the airplane, and as they're trying to get the airplane started, some South American military members start coming after them. They get the airplane started, and just as Arnold guns down the people, and she takes off. So, I don't know why, but I kind of like this female character.
Yeah.
In 1985. I was thinking to myself...
I enjoyed her presence.
I did too, and I was like... She's not just some like woman prop. Like of course she's not Matrix, right?
Yeah.
But she's like actually helpful and doing things that like that help the plot move along, not just a clown. Yeah. She's not Ripley by any means, but
it's not like I disliked her at any moment.
Yeah.
But when she exploded the car with the rocket launcher, and especially because it shot the opposite way the first time, I was just like, she's a character.
Yeah,
she's a character in this.
Absolutely.
And then immediately after, she's just like, yeah, I kind of know how to fly. And she's like, has a she doesn't just get in the car in the airplane and immediately drives. They give you more character about her. You know, like they're like, well, I've only flown Cessnas. This is a different kind of plane.
And it's
like,
all old as fuck and everything else.
Well, I didn't need to know any of this, but way to fill out this character.
Absolutely.
Way to make this a real person.
I agree. And so
weirdly well written.
Right. They eventually take off. And as they're flying, they get a warning from the Navy.
They get a warning from Bill Paxton.
I was just going to get to that, too. Right, exactly.
Fucking like 20 seconds of early 80s Bill Paxton.
No shit, man. And she's like, they shoot the shit out of this place. LAX avoids this like the plague, which is like...
I was like, I know exactly what you're saying, because... Do they shoot American planes?
Exactly. Like, they're just shooting down American planes in this fucking area? What the fuck?
Like the airliners at some point after losing enough planes were like, hey, we should avoid that area.
Like the plague. Don't go near that area. They're going to keep shooting us down. Like passenger jets are getting shot down and shit. So... Yeah, man.
What a weird line. That one was a weird line for sure.
And so they get to the island, and as they're getting to the island, the other airplane is landing in South America, wherever the fuck it was supposed to go. He gives her some instructions like, "Hey, get on the radio. I'm gonna head into the town. Get on the radio. Contact his former commander.
The general guy.
Tell him Commando, remember Commando, Matrix, whatever, and get help sent here or whatever, you know." And so she's like, "Okay, I'll take care of that or whatnot." He gets in his boat, you know. Of course, he's got to have his shirtless shot,
naked,
right? Speedo on, and
he's
that's
got he has the tiniest amount of underwear on.
Yes,
and he just gets in the boat.
Yes.
Now,
good thing he had those flippers too.
What?
Because he takes flippers with him.
Really?
That he never uses.
I didn't even notice that. That's hysterical.
It's weird. So
and then he starts to row that fucking boat, and I'm just like, this guy is jacked as shit.
I agree. It's pretty ridiculous and just ridiculously jacked. And he lands on the island, and they get the prep montage.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. This is an 80s movie. Every 80s movie.
I'm not going to lie. When he was prepping up,
I
was a little hype.
Yeah. Because he's just like arming himself. I mean, that was the point of the prep montage. Yeah. Because you're
the whole time he's kind of been like on a back, you know, like on one foot, like on a back foot. But this time he's just like, okay, I'm launching the assault.
Yep.
I'm going to have everything I need on me. And I'm just like, let's see what you got. You know, let's see what you're capable of. I had no idea that I was about to get what I ended up getting. Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, you're seeing every weapon getting put into its place, knowing that at some point each one of these weapons is going to be used later on.
I do like that he ran out of stuff.
Yes,
like,
of course.
That was good. That was well done.
So he gets...
Usually it's just like for a while. This time it was just like, okay, well, he threw away that one, he threw away this one. And he, as he gets into the town... the people bring the dead black dude off the plane. Yes.
And and the South...
Well, at first, there was a really silly-ass conversation first that we kind of skipped over, where the bad guy is talking to the president, the ex-president, and he's like, you don't understand. You know, like, me and the Commando guy, me and Matrix, we could kill everybody.
Well, because one of his guards is like... For no reason whatsoever, it just goes...
Is like fantasizing about slitting the child's throat.
Cutting through a young girl's throat is just like cutting warm butter.
Which is like...
Put the knife away and shut your mouth.
Yeah, so like I liked that... Well, I didn't like that scene. I thought it was very silly.
Yes.
When that guy was just like...
For no reason.
Laugh at all your guys.
Yeah.
And Matrix would laugh at him too if he was here. And he was almost like... kind of like fondly remembering the relationship he had, and he's just like, no, this guy's fucking like...
I'm going to get to some behind the scenes of that.
Okay, that's very interesting. But I just thought that entire interaction was silly. I didn't want to gloss over it because it was really funny.
Yes, and he's like... he's like, you should be afraid of him or whatever. He's like, it is you that is afraid, not me. You're afraid. And he's like, yeah, I am afraid because I'm smart. But I've got his daughter, so I've got a leg up on. He's like, the only thing that's going to, no matter what happens here at this point in time, if he kills this president, that's nice. He's going to come for you afterwards. And the only thing that's going to stop him, it's me. Right.
And then he gets the phone call.
Yep. And they find out, and he's ready to go kill the daughter.
Yep.
But
kill her.
Kill the girl. But they weren't paying attention. Alyssa Milano broke herself out of the door.
She was the fuck out that shit.
She fucking
she unhinged the doorknob.
Yep.
Used the doorknob.
Yep.
To undo the wood paneling.
Yes.
And then escaped out of the wood paneling. I was like, cool. I like that.
So Arnold gets into the town. He starts killing one dude here and there, right?
This was a weirdly, it wasn't, great for women, this movie. It was a lot of fucking masculinity.
Of course.
But this wasn't bad for women either. No, they had pretty fair representation.
I agree. It's certainly not this isn't I'm not trying to say this is Terminator or Alien, right?
Yeah,
it's not that where the hero is the woman.
Yes,
I'm not trying to say that. But they're not clownish props.
No, they're not just waiting to be saved.
Right, exactly. Matrix cannot get to where he is without Cindy.
Yeah, for sure.
And the daughter would
was
be
just
dead.
No, I'm the fuck out of here.
Right, exactly. I'm putting my own fate in my, my hands or whatnot.
And she knew how to get the lock and shit. I was just like, that's cool. And having a dad like him,
right, exactly.
And he was super hands on. Yes. You would have assumed. Right. Yeah, he probably taught her some shit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So he starts setting up all the C4 and all this stuff. And he starts killing one-off guys, and he throws two knives into two dudes, and then
knives,
¿Cómo estás? And the guy turns around and he shoots a knife into that guy.
Yeah,
made me laugh as a kid.
And then the claymores, right?
And then he sets off the claymores.
Yeah, and then we get probably 28 or 29 shots of this explosion.
Yes.
maybe more than that. Maybe 40 shots of this explosion.
And something really odd that I never noticed until this time watching
please tell me it's the mannequins.
Here's the thing, right? Yeah. Here was the thing. I even wrote down, I go, okay, I need this explained. Were those mannequins supposed to be guards?
Yes.
Or were those mannequins supposed to be targets that they were shooting targets at? Which I thought for a second, but then I was like, wait, why does that one have a gun? Right, he has a gun and a head, right.
No, those are supposed to be people standing there.
Yeah. And they get blown over.
Just lazily fall over. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, that was pretty outrageous, man. And so he starts running towards the different areas. When these explosion goes off, this is when Bennett notices the explosion. Welcome back, John. And then he opens the door.
Yeah.
He's
so happy.
Yes. He's like, here we go.
Explosions. He's just like, oh yeah. Here we go.
Opens the door, sees she's gone, runs over, sees the hole, looks through the hole, throws himself through the fucking wall, just smashes through the fucking wall to take
When he did that, though, that was good.
Yeah.
Because it was just saying, this guy's also an insane motherfucker.
Yes, he's also a pretty fucking badass dude. Even though he is nowhere, man, I really feel like you wouldn't do this in nowadays. That guy is not sloppy fat, but sloppy.
Yeah, for sure. I was thinking that same thing too. When I was watching, I was just like, they couldn't have gotten this guy more built for this role.
He
was big, but he was sloppy.
You know who I would have loved in this role, actually, even more so than this guy? Who? Jesse Ventura.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Jesse Ventura would have been perfect in this fucking role.
He has the energy, the demeanor.
Exactly. Size, everything else, too, right?
And he was also ripped.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. I felt like that would be such a better actor in this role than this guy.
I would agreed. I didn't dislike this guy.
No, I didn't either.
Because he had a shit heel of a face, so I liked that. Yeah. But yeah, just a more ripped guy, or maybe just a less sloppy guy. Because he was also kind of
beer gut.
Yeah, beer gut.
Yeah, not fat, just
he was also
gut.
Dressed really stupid.
Yeah. Right, in that fucking mesh sort of. Oh my god!
And it didn't look. At first, I thought it was chainmail.
Yes.
But then it was just
just a
cloth mesh.
Yes,
like fishnets.
Whew, it was pretty ridiculous. So then at this point, there's a Jeep that comes after Arnold. Mm-hmm. Arnold gets ready to blow down the door, turns around. unloads a round rocket at the Jeep, blows a rocket at the door, throws down the rocket.
Yeah.
Now, here's an important part, right? Because that rocket launcher only holds 4 rockets.
Yeah.
That's 4 rockets fired.
Is it?
So they just throw it away. Yeah, because remember, she lets loose one accidentally.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shoots the fucking police vehicle. Yep. This starts a long line of not perfectly accurate round.
Sure, yeah. But there was some idea that they were running out of rounds.
Absolutely. Like,
for sure.
Whereas like most 80s movies, you just fire
infinitely.
Yeah, right, sure, exactly.
Yeah.
So
infinite ammo cheat is on.
Absolutely. Yeah. So then he gets into like the areas where he starts to take out dudes now at this point because they start to react to him.
Yeah.
He's got an AK-74, 100-round magazine. Important again.
Sure.
So he starts letting loose with that, right? He's got 2 magazines for this thing. He eventually like goes through a bunch of guys, about 200 rounds, drops that gun, picks up the, I think he goes to the pistol at this point.
Sure, yeah. He
starts shooting people with the pistol.
Yeah.
Runs out of the pistol,
grabs the
shotgun blast. I want to importantly point out,
and then he runs out of the shotgun blast.
Yes,
and then he has no more guns.
Well, and I want to point out this is interesting because while they went for such round accuracy, as he's firing at people, and he's killing everyone. Of course,
yeah, of course.
There are flowers in front of him that are getting shot. And that are stopping the bullets from hitting him, obviously, because flowers are pretty good.
Of course, yeah.
However,
and if you can't have Kevlar, then get some flowers.
Yes. While he's firing off and letting loose grenades and stuff like that, one guy finally gets a lucky grenade near him.
Right next to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goes off, actually fucks him up. Gets some rounds in his legs, gets some rounds in, gets some shrapnel in his side.
Okay.
He goes into a shed, a tool shed now, because a groundskeeper shed. Because, I mean, clearly you would have a groundskeeper shed. Yeah. That makes sense. So, goes in there, figures out, oh shit, I'm kind of fucked up. Time to take this Kevlar off. Takes off his IBA, takes off more of his shit, starts to look for weapons, picks up some weapons, and then like lifts himself up into the top of the thing. Yeah. They do the smart thing, unload into the fucking shed. Of course,
unload hundreds and hundreds of
just rounds. Goes to open up the shed, fucking pitchfork into one dude, drops down.
Saw blade on one guy.
Through a guy's head.
Yeah, through the guy's head. Saw blade at the other guy.
I laughed out loud at the saw blades, bro.
Yeah.
Fucking axe to a guy's nuts.
Yep.
Grabs another guy by the arm. The guy just stands there like, hey, what are you doing? Shoves that fucking guy's arm out.
Then he picks up the other guns.
Picks up the M60. Starts unloading with the M60
the machine
at this
gun,
point.
Right?
Yes, that's the machine gun, and he's just gunning motherfuckers with this M60. Eventually works.
He's killed, at this point, he's killed hundreds of people.
Yes. He is mowing.
You know what I was thinking when this was going on?
Go ahead.
I'm like, even if they were to kill him, he's crippled their ability to fight now. Like, he just killed an entire army.
Yeah. He eventually gets himself into the house.
Yeah.
Starts, he picks up a couple of different guns. He's gunning back and forth with the president back and forth. Yeah. President's gunning back. Boom, boom.
The president walks up the stairs.
Yes.
And when he was up in the stairs, I'm like, this is where the president dies because he's in front of those stairs. He's going to get shot out the window.
Yes.
He tucks and rolls, shoots him. Windows explode behind him and he falls off. And I was just like, of course he did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course that was going to happen.
Eventually, John...
They gave away what was about to happen because they put him in front of a window.
Right, was what it was. No doubt. John eventually figures out where Bennett and his daughter went to, down in the basement. He follows him down to the basement, comes around a corner, boom, gets blasted by fucking Bennett right in the shoulder.
Yeah.
How's your arm, John? And
this was such a weird scene.
Yeah, he starts to antagonize him.
Yeah, he's goading him.
Yeah,
he's just like,
come on,
you're gonna
Bennett.
be a little bitch. You're gonna be a little bitch with that fucking gun. You can't take me one-on-one.
Yeah.
And he's like, stab the knife in me and turn it and look at my eyes as you see me die. I was just like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking relax, dude. Yeah. And the reason that I was so like,
I don't need this gun, John.
Yeah, the reason I was weirded out was because of Bennett's reaction. He was like getting off almost. He was like, yeah, I can beat you with the gun. I was just like, fuck, Dude, this whole exchange was just like, what the shit?
Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous.
It was one of the most over-the-top, like, back and forths I've seen any time.
And it's funny because Sloppy Bennett actually is like kind of holding his own against him because they're going back and forth, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Like, he was like literally right in front of him holding a gun to him. Yeah. He could have been like, no, I think I'll for sure live here, and then just kill him.
Yeah, so they do a lot of fighting and whatnot, and eventually Bennett gets the short end of the stick. He's gonna shoot Matrix, and John rips a fucking pipe out of the wall
and hucks it so hard it goes through him.
Goes through his chest. Let off some steam, Bennett, and then Steam's shooting
out. Yeah, for sure.
Fucking thing. Gets his daughter, Jenny, and him and Jenny head back out. And as they're heading out, and he's killed literally everybody, the army finally shows up. Yep. Leave anything out to us?
Just bodies.
Just bodies. And he's like, this is the last time or whatever. Until the next time, no chance. And he takes off with his new girlfriend, Cindy, I guess at that point.
Probably.
To an awesome 1980s power ballad. We are survivors! Like just 1980s power ballad to the extreme.
Yep.
And that is 1985's Commando. So, a couple things.
Yeah. Maybe with some behind the scenes?
Yeah. Bennett. When they wrote Bennett's character, this was originally going to be written, the entire story was going to be written for a former Israeli soldier. Okay. They wanted to have an Israeli soldier, and they were going to do like a Muslim angle and stuff like that with it. And you could totally see how that would fit in. Like maybe you do like a Saudi Arabian, king or something like that. Totally fits up perfectly fine. And then when they found out they could get Arnold, they changed everything for that.
Okay? Oh, interesting. Okay.
Bennett, the character of Bennett, like I said earlier, the guy who was familiar with Mad Max, the director, was like, I want that guy right there. That guy is going to be perfect for this. Now, I've seen Mad Max. That dude was in much better shape for Mad Max. He had like pretty built arms. He had a completely flat stomach. Clearly kind of let himself go a little bit between that 3 years or whatever.
And the 80s being what they were, contracts being what they were, they're just like, I guess we'll take it.
Yeah, it's good enough.
These days, they'd be like, no, we got to get
You're getting in shape. Yeah, we're going to do a Star-Lord with you.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get you ripped to shit.
Yes.
Yeah. You got to match Arnold at least, the fuck?
They played this character... They wanted to make this character as a person who hated John Matrix for what he did to him, but was completely sexually in love with John Matrix at the same time.
But was in love with him, right?
Absolutely, yes.
That's awesome, dude. Yes, yeah, it definitely plays, though.
Right, absolutely.
Oh, that's great. I'm surprised that they went that far with it, because that's a really weird thing to do.
Yeah.
But the way that
especially in the 80s, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But the way that the actor was portraying all of it, I was just like, dude, this guy's in love with it.
Nailed it, yes, absolutely. Sure. This movie, $9 million to make this movie.
$9 million. Yep. Okay, $9 million going in. How much?
$60 million coming out.
Jesus.
7th highest grossing rated R film of all time.
Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
That's enormous.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
So,
did they do more Commandos?
No, only Commando film. They didn't. Arnold in general didn't do a ton of
Is there a reason why you didn't want to watch the director's cut? Because I saw that there was a director's cut for this.
I didn't even think of it, to be honest. Sure, yeah. I've never heard anything about the director's cut that was special or anything like that. Yeah. A couple scores, Metacritic scores, like in the 60s. Rotten Tomatoes is in the 70s, just to kind of put where it is at.
That's Justice League. That's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
There you go.
60s and 70s.
So, in the end, knowing all that, and after this fun little romp that we had, would you recommend this movie?
I think it's going to surprise you to hear that I would absolutely recommend this movie.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I loved this movie, dude. I started liking this movie pretty early on.
Sure.
Like, I think it was in the airport stuff.
Sure.
I was just like, this is a really fun movie.
Yeah.
And then, near the end, especially when he was going ham to the fucking wall, dude, when he was just mowing everybody down, I'm just like, what a fun fucking movie this was. Because I think the thing that did it for me was that I never had to, you suspend your disbelief as much as you suspend your disbelief for like a superhero film,
Sure.
Because obviously superheroes don't exist. And this guy was just a superhero to me. And it was actually funny. I think it was when they were in the mall where I noticed my brain doing a lot of things that I do when I'm watching superhero movies, where I'm like filling in background information. I'm like, well, he probably blah, 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 that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I was watching this, and in the end, I didn't have to suspend my disbelief more than just to accept that this guy was like a superhero. But everything else, the director kind of did for me, like it was like a tight fucking plot. Everybody kind of acted, well in their roles. Sure. There were some silly 80s things, but like, it was well done. The characters were all written pretty fun. The girls weren't written like shit, like it was just all around. I couldn't find any flaws, and I was having so much fun I didn't even care.
Awesome,
like
man. Awesome.
Yeah, so absolutely I'd recommend this movie. I'm surprised going into Commando. I was like, okay, here we go. We just did RoboCop and Big Trouble, and I didn't really like either of those. I was expecting another that level kind of experience, for sure. And ended up being very fun, man. I was really happy with this one. Cool. So how about you, man? Did this movie hold up for you?
So, it's funny watching this movie. So when I was a kid, I believe this was probably my first Arnold movie that I ever saw. Okay. And I loved it. Okay. Sure. As a child, I absolutely adored this film. A close friend of our family, she used to babysit for us and whatnot. And she was like, I believe she's like 10 or 11 years older than me. And she used to date a dude who was very Arnold-like. Because, it was the 80s, right? And he had the same haircut, totally built-ass dude and whatnot, this guy from Tosa. And he was the one who presented this to me and my brother and whatnot. And we watched this with him. And his name was Pete. And I fucking loved this movie, and it's something that I enjoyed so much that there's so many lines that I remembered from being a kid and whatnot, because that's what this is. Yeah. And I'll tell you, watching it again this other night, I always go to these movies like with a little trepidation where I'm like,
a little like, oh no, I really hope it doesn't.
Right, exactly. Like I'm not sure about this and whatnot, and I fucking love this. This absolutely holds up. Ridiculous. Surprisingly, even better than the last two movies we watched. I like Big Trouble in Little China. Yeah. I like RoboCop. This feels like a better put together film than those movies, though. It's got a more complete script. It's got a better story. It's just like, it's totally an 80s film. It's just, absolutely.
There's no taking it out of its time for sure.
Right,
this movie
exactly.
is hard as fuck 80s.
Absolutely. The plot, everything about it, like getting away with it in the first place, this whole thing, like you would go to jail. If this is like you still broke into a goddamn store and committed, armed robbery because you had guns on the way out.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're going to prison now for 10 years. I'm glad you got your daughter out though. Like there's none of that because it's the 80s.
Yeah, for
sure. This is if you are into like Arnold stuff, this is quintessential Arnold. And this is, while I don't like, this is not a film that like Terminator or like Conan that people associate like with the top stuff for Arnold, but it probably should be because this is one of the better.
I'm really
Arnold
surprised too because I had more fun with this than I did with Terminator. Terminator was cool and it was good to see like pop culture
for sure,
like the I don't know, origin point for a lot of pop culture. But this was much more fun. Yeah, this was like a great time from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
I was super surprised about
Absolutely, man. Yeah, no, altogether, I just found this movie to be just as good as I remember it back in the day. And if you haven't seen this movie in a long time, you should go back and check it out again because you will definitely enjoy it one more time. Sure, I was pretty impressed with it. As one of the scenes in the film too, when they're breaking into the gun store place or whatever, right? Yeah. As he's like powering up that fucking thing, it cracked me up because I'm like, this guy can fucking do everything, right? Yeah. And like you point out, he's like a superhero and whatnot, and he can do pretty much anything. And he got that fucking piece of machinery up and running, and I was fucking golden with it, right? Yeah. And I was thinking to myself as he was doing that, how familiar are you with like power lines and things of that nature?
Nothing
like
at all,
because like that was as they like he drives past the power line, he comes by a box and whatnot, and I was just like, I know what we're doing next.
Oh no, what?
Transformers, 1986, the movie.
There's a 1986
Power Transformer.
There's a oh Jesus, dude, the way your brain works, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on in there. There's zero organization in there. It's just one bananas thing leading to some other bananas thing. Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Is this live action or animated?
This is animated. 1986 movie is animated. Okay. It is quite the interesting film.
Okay. Is this big? Do people know this?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It was like one of the first like 80s toy movie sort of like tie-in like films. So especially like from a cartoon angle and whatnot. I can't remember if Masters of the Universe came out before this, but that was a live action film.
Okay.
But this was like well regarded too as like a big deal, like back in the day. Yeah, and I think you'll see why. To be
honest, I've never even heard of this.
I believe that, but I think within the first like 30 minutes, you'll see why this is regarded pretty highly in the universe of like cartoon films and Transformers and all that sort of thing. It's definitely one of those things from the 1980s that is it's great. And what I would suggest doing as you get ready is go to Walmart, get yourself like 3 to 4 like boxes, paint those motherfuckers up, throw them onto your body, like duct tape them to your body so you can be a Transformer live while we watch this movie and review it.
Don't do that, everybody. Don't go through all that trouble for this. There's no way that this is going to be good. Not good enough for cardboard boxes.
You scared, motherfucker? You should be. This Green Beret's gonna kick your big ass. I eat Green Berets for breakfast, and right now I'm very hungry.